the BASN Mix PD. Let's talk about it. Now this is a 2-driver, 1 planar, 1 dynamic driver IEM that costs around $70. So it's in that kind of like not super cheap segment, but not super expensive either. An interesting market to be said. A lot of competition in this market, and this IEM is a sample sent out to me by BASN, and I appreciate the opportunity to share this IEM with you guys. Let's start by talking about the build quality of this IEM. The shell on this IEM is not very exciting, but it is light and it does isolate well because of its nice kind of width. I didn't have any problems with ear tips staying on. I like the fact that you can see the shell and the faceplate. There are multiple different faceplates. It does come in black, blue, green, and a gray as well. This is kind of a white, and you can see the drivers in there, which is pretty cool. I can't think of that many IEMs where you can see this on the inside. It is a wired 0.78 millimeter cable connector, and you can see that here. You have a red right, blue left. I love that. This cable is okay. It's very unmanageable and hard to work with. You have a cable slider that works. You have a branded Y-split with a BASN right there. The cable is chunky. It feels nice. It's a kind of a tight weave and braid. I like it, but it's not super exciting. It does have a right connector here. Let's see if we can get that in focus. There we go. But, it's not exciting, but it's not a terrible cable as well. The accessories are great. You have a 6.3 connector, cleaning brush, multiple tips, and a shirt clip, which is kind of fancy. This case, I've seen this case before and on BASN's other projects. It reminds me of a mini suitcase. I think it's cute, kind of fun. Not super exciting, but if you need a case, this is a good one. I like it at this price, and oftentimes at this price, you may not even find one. So this is fantastic. So this is a solid little IEM. It sounds good in ear. It's my favorite BASN, and it's also one of the cheaper ones that they have, which I think is a testament to a few things. It is a very light IEM, and so it doesn't have that build quality metal feel. Like some IEMs are pure metal, and like titanium IEMs are kind of hip right now. This ain't it. It's super light, but for those people that need a light IEM, this is a great thing. And I do want to say the packaging really good on it. It has good bass, it has decent mids. It's a little bit on the high on the mid sides, and we'll see that in the graph section, but overall, this is a solid little IEM that I'm happy to be sharing with you guys. Alright, so the graph's nothing too exciting. It's not super fantastic, but it's also not bad. It's a little bit of extra energy around here. Its bass rise is a little bit different, a little bit of a dip through the lower mid-range. So its mids aren't great, but its upper air is good, its bass is good, and it's overall not a bad set, especially at this price. As we look at a few others, I wanted to show you versus the other BASN IEMs that I have reviewed, because I did make the bold move saying that I liked it better. This is the BASN MT Pro, and I found out, this has a lot kind of worse mids, a little bit lower, this presence region, a little bit extra bass. It's tilted just a little bit different. But the MT Pro, it's a fun IEM, but it's not a very good IEM. It's not a very great sounding neutral IEM, but it's fun, it's bassy, it's impactful. If you really want something that's fun and bassy, that might be the way to go. But the Mix PD is a little bit of a better set, but it's not perfect. As we look at this set, the BASN Mix PD versus the Metalin. And the Metalin's also kind of a fun set and has a little bit more mid presence, and it's you can see that they kind of have this thing where they kind of have this late rising kind of bass shelf right around 800. I would encourage them to do that a little bit earlier in this mix, right around somewhere between 150 to around 300. You notice my curve kind of starts right around 200 and just boop, boop, just have a nice little bass shelf there. And that's kind of what I like and what a lot of people like, and it's pretty popular. But I mean, everyone has different tastes, and it's nice to have different IEMs for different people. But this isn't the most neutral set that I've encountered, but it's still pretty good. As we look at some other sets, you know, I've listened to some interesting IEMs over the days. I got the NF RA-A15, the NF audio set. This thing has a ton of treble. It's just a little bit much for me. You know, I would go with the BASN Mix PD. It has way less of this upper mid treble region, and it feels a little bit more subdued. I mean, the BASN Mix PD is pretty nice sounding, all things considering, and this is normalized right around here at about 800. So you can see how much bass you have, how kind of late that rises, which, you know, it creates a fun IEM, but maybe not the most flat and neutral IEM for people. And when you look at that, it's really just kind of cutting this region out, which kind of changes some things, and it's not ideal for a lot of people. While this is a good IEM, there are other IEMs that I think get you pretty there if you like this sound profile. The FIO JD10. Now, the FIO JD10, again, it's one of those sets that isn't good. It's not super neutral, but it's a different, unique, bassy set that I think people might like. This is cheap. This is like 10 bucks. And has basically the same FR curve as the Mix PD. The Mix PD is packaged extremely well. Like, if you need a one and done set that's, you know, not bad and has good accessories, it offers good value. If you just want something with this curve and you think this curve is beautiful and you're like, ooh, give it to me, the FIO JD10 might be the way to go for you. As we look at a few others, right around this price point, you get something like the classic Truth or Hexa. You know, like, what does the Hexa do? It has a little bit leaner bass, a little bit more pointy, kind of like this kind of has like extended cat ears sort of style upper mids. A little bit too much 8K, which can cause it to be a little bit sharp at some things, and kind of that late bass rise. Whereas the Hexa, while a good set, it also is really dull and kind of boring. Whereas the BASN Mix PD, if you're a bass head and you want something with a little bit more excitement and engagement and a little bit more fun, and we're not talking like, you know, we're not talking an insane amount. We're just talking a little bit of lift, a little bit of fun. I would say the BASN Mix PD does a pretty good job of being a little bit fun, but not exactly the neutral set that the Hexa is. But again, and Hexa is super dull, super boring. A few others I want to look at, like the RU2. If you want a more safe tune, the RU2, you know, and you notice how close these really are. They're very, very similar. So before you call the Mix PD shouting, and if you're a lover of the RU2, that might be the way to go. The RU2 is also packaged well, but not as many professional accessories like the shirt clip. But it's something to very well consider, because the RU2 is a solid set right around that 60 bucks. Another one I like is the Awakened Dawn MS. Now, I like the Awakened Dawn. It has really good sub bass. I mean, it's just, it hits that target really well. But you notice a lot of the similar curves you notice in the Awakened Dawn, you also notice in the Basin Mix PD. Like, they both kind of have the same problems. They both can be a little bit shouty, a little bit scooped mids, but also not terrible. They're both pretty darn good sets, but not something that I would be like, nothing to write home about. I mean, you might like something like even cheaper. Well, let's talk cheaper options. The Tantium Bunny, a little bit less bass, a little bit more just kind of rolled a presence, but it's just a nice, even, kiltered, smooth set for like 20 bucks. I don't even know if this is officially released yet. I feel like I reviewed it forever ago, but I don't know. The Tantium Bunny, maybe some $20 sets that you can check out might be good for you. I haven't really checked out that many budget sets, but I do try to compare where we can what we have. Now, I do feel that the Basin Metalin could benefit from some EQ. I just EQ'd my target here, and you'll notice it has a little bit better bass. Cuts this little bit of this region here, these mids region, and cuts the upper treble just a little bit. And this EQ makes it really pop if you want to give it a go. EQ is a powerful tool, and I encourage you to try it if that's something you want to do. But you know, sometimes you have to be careful to turning it off and on, and messing with it can become kind of a unwanted burden and can be kind of annoying at the same time. All right, sonic rating. Let's talk to BASN Mix PD. How to do? I mean, overall, nice bass. Mids are a little bit cooked. Upper air and highs are not bad. Imaging is a little bit off, partially due to the upper mids, and its note weight is also really strong. It gets in really bassy, but you know the mids are a little bit cooked on this set. But it has a nice sound stage. It sounds good. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's a good little budget set, but it's not gonna rock your world if you have things that are more expensive than this. It's not the default recommendation, but it gets a recommendation, especially for those that think it might be a fun set. I like it. I think it has great potential, and it competes with a lot of other IEMs in this price range. So the Basin Metalin, a light, cute little set with multiple faceplate colors you can get. As a give it a little bit of variety. Comes with a decent but kind of tangly cable and a nice little case with good accessories. It's a nice little set that I think people are going to like. Again, its sound is a little bit V-shaped and it's not going to knock the world apart, but it is a nice, enjoyable, adorable little set that I have fully enjoyed testing. I want to sincerely thank BASN for sending this out. I have not been super nice to their other IEMs, and I appreciate when companies send me things so I can review honestly and truthfully to you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning into my little video, and we'll hopefully catch you again. Bye-bye. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris, or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here. Go.
Go!
Go.
Go on with you!